Welcome to Leave Me Alone. I'm working on it.
Leave me alone. I'm working on
I'm
it.
Ore.
And I'm Cassie J.
Yes, you are. That is correct.
Yes, I am.
Got a question for you, Cassie J.
Tell me.
Have you ever been trolled on social media?
Hmm. Okay. This is where we're going today. Sure. Let's unpack the box that we've carefully packed and kept hidden. Sure,
Sure, why not?
we'll
It's
take
free
that box out
therapy.
to play. Um, I haven't been trolled on social media, but I have been trolled online. Oh, I
Okay.
know. Um, it wasn't a story I was going to tell, but here we are,
Now
and
you
we're
have to
just
tell it.
now we're gonna go. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail because
I'm
I
okay with
it's
that. I just want to
mm,
hear the headlines. What
okay.
happened?
So stuff happened. The more I talk, you can okay. Anyway, stuff happened. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
with my family. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that happened. Yo, this sounds without the
Oh,
detail. This sounds so hectic, but stuff happened. The stuff that happened ended up in the newspapers. Okay,
okay.
and when it was in the newspapers, it was about my dad, but it soon became about our whole family. And it was just a really jarring experience to read about strangers, read online, strangers, people I've never met, saying these awful things, not only about our
Mm.
family, but about me, about my brother, about my mom, about my dad. And I was like, this is not fun. Like, it was so painful and hurtful and mean. It was just so mean. And I think for me on that day, I vowed I would never write a mean thing on the internet again because it's just too mean. Like to be on the receiving
Yeah.
end, I can't imagine. No, I can imagine being on the receiving end. And so I can't imagine doing that to somebody
Doing that
else.
to someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all, I'm not even a person who really even leaves comments. So you will never
Mm,
see a negative comment or a mean comment from me. I
yeah.
like it. Except I know you personally, and it's like your birthday or you're celebrating a graduation or you started a
Yeah.
business, you bought a house, I will comment on that. But like if
Yeah.
I see something that's funny, I'll like it or I'll share it or I'll post the stories. Like that's my way of engaging with content, not really in the
Yes. But you
comments.
never comment.
I wouldn't really comment on like a random post. But for someone who doesn't comment on posts, I sure do read a lot of comments. Like I love to
Yeah.
go into the comment section
The
because
comment
I often
section is the best sometimes.
it it's
Sometimes.
it's polarizing. Like sometimes it's fun and it's witty and there's like, people saying things that you thought in your mind but you didn't say out loud.
Yes.
Sometimes it's that. Other times it's just so vile
Yeah.
and you're wondering, are we all humaning together, like are we all
Yeah.
from the same? And anyway, so a couple of, I don't know, episodes back we did an episode, and I'm not going to call even more attention to it. I'm not going to say what episode it is, but we had an episode and we posted a reel, and I read something. I read a story about a woman and
Oh,
asked for
okay.
Cassie's reaction.
I've
Have you
landed. I
arrived?
now
Okay.
know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we had the chats, we talked about it. We were like, okay, what's your viewpoint and all of that stuff. It was great. Video's done, right? We go home. Okay. Only for me to arrive the next morning and start to see comments.
Yeah.
And I know I'm
It was
saying it
rough.
playfully now, but let me tell
Mm,
you, I was rocked. Like
yeah.
Ore was rocked. I can say it playfully now, sort of, but in the moment, I took a hit. It it was, and here's the thing. I'm not I'm okay with people disagreeing with me, disagreeing with my
For sure.
viewpoint. That's not the
Yeah, yeah,
issue.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay if you see life differently or you think that I'm wrong on something. That's
Mm,
okay.
mm.
What
That's
I'm
allowed.
not okay, that's allowed. What I'm not okay with is when you decide to throw away, to toss aside the conversation at hand in
Mm.
favor of attacking me personally,
The person behind the conversation.
attacking the person behind the
Mm,
conversation
mm,
just because. And
mm.
that's what really happened. I was I was told how I was stupid. I was
No,
told how
guys,
I
it
needed
was
to shut up
wild.
because I was making everyone look, all the women in the world look bad. I was called the C word. I have never in my life been called the C word. And I've
It was
done some shit.
shocking.
I've done
Yeah.
some things where I deserve to be spanked or yelled at. Like I've misbehaved. But in
Yeah.
those instances, I was never spoken to like this. And now I'm
Yeah.
reading a story and we're having a chat. Like it wasn't even a deep
It was
conversation.
so I think what was so insane about that and you said that you were rocked and you can joke about it now, and I wanted to say like you were right to be rocked because some of
Mm.
the things that were said were truly vile, like truly
Yeah.
vile and
Oh
truly like
boy.
just so unnecessary. um but I think what was just so wild for me was that if you stopped to take a second to dig deeper behind what was actually happening, you were
Yeah.
reading a story from
Uh,
someone else had done from
mm-hmm.
your phone. You were looking down and reading it from your cell phone.
Yeah, I
And
I
people
really
just
was.
assumed that it was you. And I'm like, can we just take a second to just double click on the information that's being presented to us? Take half a second more to process the information in
Yeah.
front of you,
I like
and
that
maybe
you
you'll come to a different conclusion. Like, yeah,
But it's
it was
like that
shocking.
thing Dami likes to say. Dami says most people they aren't listening to understand, they're listening to
Mm,
respond. So I
fair,
feel like that's what was happening. And that's probably what's
fair.
happening with a lot of people who leave mean comments or stuff on social media,
Yeah,
on Instagram, on Twitter. It's like they stumble upon a piece of content. Someone's doing
yeah,
something, showing something. They're not trying to understand why or where. They don't follow you. So they're not part of
yeah,
your audience. They don't know what you've been curating, for months, and other people, they don't understand anything. They see one
yeah,
thing, they just decide this is stupid, this is dumb. But instead of saying this doesn't make sense, they say you don't make sense, you're dumb, you're
yes,
stupid, what the hell are you doing? Get off of
yes,
social media.
yes.
Like, and then what pisses me off is, okay, so you've decided to have an issue with this person, but then you take it one step further and you start to attack their family, their friends, the people in their life. I was told that my husband must be in prison because I'm such a terrible person and I must be holding
Ooh.
him hostage. I was told that I also am lying about being married. I can't be married. Nobody would marry me, and nobody in their
It's
right man would marry
so
me. It
wild.
like it went left so quickly and so unnecessarily. And I remember just feeling so attacked and
Yeah, it
so
was rough.
stupid. And so I was
Mm.
like, because I was confused. Like
No, I was as well.
if you've done something that even warrants you being yelled at, you'll be like, oh, well, yeah, I did the thing. You can yell at me. You're still being mean, but you're like, I did the thing. Me, I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, what are we talking about? I'm
What
so
just
like, I was
happened? What just
so,
happened?
what just happened? And I
Mm,
went, and my default setting with dealing with these kinds of things is to run away, stick my head in the sand. And so
mm.
that's literally what I did. When I got past the hurt and the anger, I just got off of Instagram. I turned off notifications. And what it did for me, beyond being attacked, is that Cassie and I have enjoyed bringing you LMA. We've enjoyed putting it
Yeah, it's
together.
so
When we
fun.
first started, we were saying, even if nobody listens to our podcast, we have a good time. So that's
Yeah.
okay. You know, but then we found, I don't know, 8,000 more people who also seem to have a good time with us. And we're grateful for
Yeah.
that. But we enjoy bringing it together, and we enjoy reading the comments, and we enjoy, seeing people respond to the content.
And
And the
people, yeah.
content, the engagement and the response has mostly been exceedingly positive. Like
No,
we get the cutest
like
comments, the cutest,
90% positive.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like you say, the negative voice is always louder. It got to me. The negativity that was coming off of this one reel got to me way more
Mm,
than
mm,
all of the positivity that had been thrown my way since we started
mm,
LMA. And it just kind of
mm.
sucked the joy out for me. And so
No.
I I just kind of I got off social, I disappeared. And and then I was like, why would I let them drive me off of social media? No, Ore, you're stronger than this. You need to develop a thick skin. Da 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 da. I hop back on maybe like 2, 3 weeks later. And then there's another video where I've mispronounced something, which is a human thing. Like
It's
I
a
mean, it
human thing.
happens,
It
especially
happens.
when you are, because Cass and I record is like we record live. Like it's a one, what's that thing called?
one
One take
take,
wonders.
one take
It
wonder.
LMA is one
There's no
take. We don't
pausing. It
edit it.
just
We
keeps
don't cut it
going.
out. We just press record and we go.
And that's what
So
you
sometimes
get.
you'll say something, and then after you say it, you're like, oh, I could have said that better. I didn't say that well, but there's nothing you can do now. So I mispronounced this thing. And to these three men in the comment section, there were these three men who
Mm.
now decided that out of everything we said in the content, that was the one thing they were going to pick up on and troll me about it. And I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, not again. And so I pick up my phone. I'm like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to respond. I'm going to have the comeback. I was ready
Lols.
to go to war. And
Yeah.
just before I typed that thing, I was just like, but wait, Ore, where does it end?
Is it
Because if
worth
I
it?
respond, then we go down this thing, they will respond back. And now it's three of them against me. Now I must
Yeah.
respond. Now we're fighting on LMA. I'm like, that's not even what LMA is about.
Yeah.
So I put my phone down, turned off notification. I was like, you know what? It's okay.
Well done.
So
You took the
what?
high
I
road.
mispronounced
You
a
rose
word.
above.
I rose
Yeah.
above and it wasn't easy, but it led me, I had to work through this in many different ways. But when I sat back and thought about it eventually. I'm fine now. Like I'm on social media. I'm loving the comments, loving the engagements. I'm
Please
rolling my
send us all
eyes
the
at the
love.
ones, rolling my eyes at the ones that I'm just like, you had nothing better to do. It's okay. um, and so it kind of dawned on me that that whole process for me, like I went through a process
Mm.
of like a you know how you have the stages of grief. I kind of
Mm.
went through a stages how you react when you've been trolled on social media. And for me, the first one, and I love this because Cassie says it better than I don't know how to say it. The first stage for me was offended. Offended, as you would say
Offended.
it. I was offended. I was like, in
Rightfully
every
so.
in everything, and why would you say that in everything? This is what you're calling, like, I was
Yeah.
genuinely offended that that's what they were picking up on in this thing. And then I went from being offended to, how dare you say that about me? Who are
Who do
you?
you
Who
think
do
you
you think you
are?
are? And this is the face for everyone, where you then go and click on that little profile picture there because you want to go
Oh,
to the
and you
Instagram
do a little
account and
snooping.
you want to see who
Oh,
it
I've
is that
been
you're
there.
mad at. But then you get there and there's nothing.
There's nothing there,
Nothing. There's
or
zero
there's
posts.
something there that is like completely contradictory to what they've just commented. Like,
There was one time there was a comment, this girl left a nasty comment about you. I clicked on it. Her handle was called something like a Bible study girl or like a
I
Christian girl
was just
handle.
gonna
And
say
I'm
this.
just like,
The
babes,
people
what
with
are
the
you
meanest
doing?
comments, then you go to their
Meanest
profile and they've like quoted a Bible verse.
child of
It's
God,
like,
daughter of Zion. And I'm just like,
come
daughter of
on,
where? With
come
that
on, come
comment.
on, come
So you
on.
go you you go on their profile and it makes it even worse for you because now there's nothing for you to be mad at. You know? There's nothing. You can't hold on to anything on their page to be like, ah, I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Nothing. It's usually empty. So you go from you go from being offended, you go to who do they think they are? And then you go, I will show them, which is where I ended up. I will have
Mm.
the clap back. I'm
Amen,
gonna show
sister.
you I'm not that doll.
Amen,
I'm gonna show
sister.
you I'm not a pushover. The problem with when you arrive at this point, and I want to say to everyone is, please just keep pushing when you get here. Don't stop here and don't
Yeah.
respond. Whatever you're thinking, don't say it.
Don't
Because what
say
I've
it.
read and seen and experienced is that people who troll other people online really just want a reaction from you.
Of course.
All they're looking for is
That's
for you to
all there
react. That's
is,
it.
for you to react, so that you react, that they can respond, and it's just a back and a forth and a back and
And
a
it's
forth,
so
and nobody wins.
entertaining. Nobody's
Nobody
gonna
wins.
win.
Nobody
It
wins.
usually it doesn't end well. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
if you want to respond to everyone who leaves a dumb comment on Instagram, who says a mean thing to you, how many people are you going to be fighting with on a daily basis? Like, are you even
Fair.
going to have time to life if you're
I
busy
I
fighting?
I also want to like take this conversation off of the platforms of just social media, right? Because
Yeah.
people people say stuff about each other behind their backs, sometimes to their faces, that is that can be uncalled for, that can be really cruel, that can be really mean. Um, and I think that how you respond on social media should be the same as how you respond in real life.
Agreed.
Don't
Mm.
engage. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, right? Like
Oh
it
boy.
doesn't mean that it's that much easier to deal with or process or get through. Um, but I think you have to do so two things. You have to find a way to build some kind of resilience, some kind of thick
Mm.
skin, because the world is unkind. Okay,
I
it's
know. Mm.
unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah.
And I think that for us, especially if you're doing something like this, where you're creating something and then putting it out into the world,
Yeah.
it's being vulnerable in a certain way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, in choosing to do that, you have to develop a thick skin. And it's not just about creating, in choosing to put your hand up at work for a project or for an
Yeah.
assignment, in
Mm.
choosing to, I don't know, take something on, try something new, you are stepping into a space of vulnerability and opening yourself up to the unkindness that exists in the world. So, developing a thick skin, developing some kind of resilience is crucial, like
Mm.
absolutely crucial. And the second thing is you've got to learn to rise above. Like you just have to rise above, because to engage is to keep it alive, number one.
Yeah. You will keep it alive.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep it alive. And number two, it brings you down to this person's level. Why would
Yeah.
you engage with someone like this? Walk away. Walk away.
Yeah. I think that I agree, and it brings me to like my how to, because I basically went through like what did I do, and I'm not gonna lie. The next time someone says something that's really mean, I will feel hurt. I'll probably
No,
still
that's
think
fine.
about it and be like, "Oh, that was deep. That was unnecessary. You didn't need to
Yeah.
do that." I will feel
Yeah.
it, and I
Yeah.
know I realize fully realize whether you are in media, you are in tech, you're a stay-at-home mom, you sing in the choir, you are going to have to deal with criticism. Sure
Hmm.
thing. And you
Hmm.
will need to grow a thicker skin. It is the
Hmm.
world we live in today. But
Hmm.
before you get to the point where your skin is thick enough and it doesn't affect you, like how do you deal with it? How do you handle it?
Yeah.
I think that's, for me, that was the major thing. You hear
Yeah.
people talk about being trolled, but I'm just like, this was my first time, honestly, and then I had two like back to back. It was my first time of
Yeah.
just being receiving so much negativity. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know what to do with myself. But
Yeah.
I think the first thing that I want to say to anyone, for me, that's what I would put as number one, is it's okay to feel how you feel.
Yeah.
Like don't pretend like it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Don't put it in a box. Don't put it under the bed. Don't put it under the carpet. Like allow yourself to feel that hurt. It's okay. It's okay to
Yeah.
feel that. But on the other end of that is remembering that their words are not about you. It really just is a reflection of who they are or what they're going through. It's like
Correct.
that saying, hurt people hurt other people.
Hurt
It's like
people
it's
hurt
not
people.
even
Mm.
about you,
Mm.
but allow yourself to, because I needed to go through that process, and I know that, and for me that's number one. And number two was I didn't keep quiet about it. I spoke about it with Cassie and with MJ.
Mm.
Thanks, MJ.
Shout out MJ.
Because it's important in moments like that, when someone guts you, like when someone gets
Yeah.
you at your most insecure moments, to be able to turn to the people who can reaffirm you,
Yeah.
to the people who can be like, I know they said this thing about you, it's not true. Remember, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Like people who can lift you up, people who can
Yeah.
remind you of
Yeah.
why what you're doing is good or is important or whatever.
Mm.
And I needed that. I think like for the next 1 week, every time a post was about to go out, I was like, oh,
Oh,
guys,
shame.
I don't
Yeah. Every
wanna.
time we were about to post something, or it was like, do we have to? And I was like, yes, babes, we do. But,
I know. And the
and
funny thing is, I do say a lot of nonsense. I'm not gonna lie. I say a lot of things. I say a lot of things. And I know that sometimes the things that I say and the opinions that I have are not like the general opinions. People would be like, ugh, why is
mm,
she like that? But it's okay. That's why the world that we live in has been structured the way you're allowed to have your opinions. People don't
you
have to
are.
agree, but you're allowed to have them. We're
You're
different. It's
allowed
not a
to have your
vanilla world,
opinions and you're allowed to have your emotions. And I think that what you said first is so, so true. Someone once said this to me. Her name was Alice. Alice is amazing. She's incredible. But Alice also once said to me, she was like, nobody can nobody can take away from you how you feel,
Mhm.
right? Like your feeling in a moment is your feeling. It is a gut response. It is
Yeah.
not even a gut response. It is a physical response. So if someone says something or does something to you, I can't control that I
How
feel
I feel.
sad or I feel
Mm,
hurt or I feel
mm,
angry or I feel confused. That's
mm.
that's the gut feeling, the first feeling. What I can
Yeah.
control is what I do next,
Mm,
right? Like that's what's in my control. And so I think to validate you first in the feeling, but then remember that the next step, you haven't lost control
mm.
because you had an emotion, right?
Yeah.
Like you're a human. Of course, you had an
That's
emotional
good.
response to
That's
something.
good. That's
So,
good.
yeah.
That's good. The other thing that, so the next thing for me that I was going to say is block, delete, report. I know we get very touchy in today's day and age about reporting people or deleting comments or hiding
No,
comments
I'm
because
not
you
touchy.
don't want people to
No,
feel
no,
like,
no.
oh, you delete. Girl, block, delete, report, hide, whatever you need to do, take that
Yeah.
negativity out of your immediate space. You
Yeah.
know, like you don't want to be coming on Instagram and seeing this thing, or on Twitter, I don't know, wherever you play. You don't want to be coming on and say, it's your Instagram page, it's your social
Yeah.
media page. Remove it. It's your life. If it's not happening, if it's happening offline, remove yourself from the situation. Like remove yourself from those kinds of people. Like
Yeah.
if you're fine that you it's not even a work bestie, but you all just walk down to
Just
get grab
choose
lunch
peace.
together. Step away
Yeah.
from it. Just go away from it. Like remove
Do
the
what you need to do
negativity
to
from it.
choose
Do what you
peace.
need to do to just step away from that.
Mm. You know,
Um,
it's funny. It's funny that you say this whole like block, delete, report thing. Because it just reminded me of something that I did not that long ago.
mhm.
And I think we should do it more because it
Yeah.
speaks to this point of view, like, because you've also said this important thing where it's like find your tribe, lean on your tribe, find your people to kind of
Yeah.
remind you who you are, remind you of value, and to protect you from something.
Mm.
Because there is something to be said about if I'm your friend and like, or you're one of my best friends, like if something is hurting you, it's hurting me too.
Yeah.
It hurts me because it hurts you. So I'm going to do what I can to make sure that
Mm.
you're not hurt, right? Because it's not okay, right? Um, I was on Instagram and I was scrolling
Yeah.
through um, and then I saw the headlines about Diddy and all the nonsense that Diddy has been involved in. And I was
Yeah.
like, shoo, Diddy. It's wild. T for 10. So I make my way
It
onto Diddy's
really
profile.
is.
No, it's wild. Okay. And we're not going to go into that, but I
No.
make my way into onto Diddy's profile and I'm
Mm-hmm.
scrolling through and I see a picture of his daughter and it's her birthday. He's posted and he's like, oh, happy 18th birthday to my girl, my baby girl, something like that. And I was
Mm.
like, okay, cute. And then I open the comments and people are obviously going off at Diddy. Some people are like, happy birthday to his daughter. And then there was this one guy who commented, and he was like, oh, you're finally 18. That means you can come and I'm not going to finish that sentence, okay? Because it was disgusting. And like, I remember in the moment being like
I'm
offended
shooketh.
for her.
What?
Yeah, you're finally 18. Just that bit on its own
You don't even need to
is
go further. Just the
is
you're finally
probably
18.
is problematic. It's problematic. You're
Jeepers,
finally
guys.
18, so now you can come and I refuse. It was terrible. But I remember reading this comment. I don't know Diddy's daughter. I don't know her from a bar of soap. But I was offended on her behalf.
On her
I was
behalf.
disgusted on her behalf. I was like, no, I was like, this is another woman. I need to, protect.
Please
I
tell
need
me
to
you
get
reported.
involved. I reported that comment immediately. I reported the comment
Well
immediately.
done. You
And
did
I was
good.
like, because this is
It's
unacceptable.
unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. And yes, I don't know Diddy's daughter and I don't know this man, but this behavior is cannot stand. And
Yeah.
I got a reply from Instagram's people. They were like, thank you for reporting it. We have removed the comment, which now means that no one, well,
No
no one
one.
more
No
will
one, yeah, no one
read
else will
this
see it.
filth,
Yeah.
filth, filth, disgusting.
I actually just remember
Um,
as you're saying this,
but
I got
yeah.
triggered recently on someone else's page. It's this biracial couple, and they've got the
Yes.
cutest daughter. She's adorable. I don't follow them or anything, but it just popped
I
up,
feel
and I'm
like
just like, oh my
interracial
God.
courles on
I know.
Instagram, TikTok,
They
they
make the
go through
cutest babies. They do go
they make the cutest we're finishing
cutest
each other's
babies.
sentences. This is how much we love each other. But they make the cutest babies, but they go through the most in the comment section.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, this
it's super
video was
tense.
of like, so the dad is white, mom is black. So this video was like of the dad sitting and he was like brushing the girl's hair, and like styling her hair or something. And it was just a cute, wholesome video. She was sitting there like playing with her little toys, just distracted. You know how kids are.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ori is always looking for in the comments. I need to just remind myself to stay out of the comment section because I go into the comments and what do I see? Someone ruins the moment for me. This woman
Yeah.
goes, did he kidnap that child? Everything about this video looks creepy. I'm like,
What?
from where? How?
Okay.
I'm like, how?
My immediate response to a situation like this is, like you said in the beginning, this actually has nothing to do with the dad and his daughter. This is about this lady. This
It
lady
is
is
100%
hurt.
about
This
her.
lady has gone through something. Someone has done something to this person because for that lady to comment like that, there is a context in her mind, whether it's conscious or subconscious, that makes that comment make sense. And that's
You?
actually where the problem lies.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in her mind because I don't know how
Somewhere
she's
she
rationalizing
needs
that
to
that makes
heal.
sense.
Somewhere she needs to heal from something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, look, I know you and I we talk about the negative voices being louder than the positive ones, and we should keep that in mind. We also talk
Mm.
about flooding the system with
We
positivity.
do. I have
And
not
so
done that thing.
I have started doing this thing
Well
with because I am
done.
also not okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a commenter. But I've started doing this thing where, like, if I see something that I like, if I see, and it's mostly women, it's men as well, but like mostly women, if I see a woman who's done something cool, she looks great, or she's funny, or, I don't know, she's created something, I
Yeah.
comment and I'm like, yay, babes.
Love
Good for
that.
you. 10 points
Yeah.
for Gryffindor. This is
Mm.
amazing. You look incredible. How
I
did
like
you do
that.
this? Teach me. One day I want to be like you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just
Yeah.
and I don't know this person from above, so but I like to think that there's a moment where this creator is gonna
Sees
read my
it.
comment
Mm.
and just feel a little bit of a serotonin boost and
You
just
are
feel a little bit
absolutely
good,
right. You are
right? So
absolutely right.
I've been trying to just be a little bit more intentional about flooding the space with
Well done.
positivity. And
I
it's
think we should
yeah,
all do that, actually.
I
We
think
should
we
all
should
do that.
too.
We should
I think
all
we
do
should
that. We should
too.
even take it offline. And because I've started doing this thing too, where if I see a woman
Yes.
and I like her nails or I like her hair or something, like, oh my God, girl, your nails are gorgeous. I love your nails. And sometimes when I do, they're like, thanks. They're old. And I'm like, oh girl, we can't see that. I can't see that. I just see pretty nails. You're right. We need to be more conscious about, actually flooding the
Actually
system,
flooding the system with
actually flooding it with
positivity.
positivity.
Because
Yeah.
to your point, you probably are thinking it in your mind. Take it one
Yeah.
step
Take it one
further
step
and
further.
say it out loud or comment it on a
Mm.
post. It's not going to hurt you. It really isn't,
Yeah.
you know?
I do have one question for you that I want to ask you. But
Okay.
before that, I just want to also say that if you're doing something, you're creating, you're doing whatever, and you get trolled or you get mean comments, please don't stop.
Yeah.
Like, don't stop doing whatever you're doing. Heal
Yeah.
through the process, delete, get off of Instagram, turn off notifications, do whatever you need
Do
to
what you
do.
need
But
to do.
please do not stop. You need to come
Yeah.
back and keep doing, keep giving, keep speaking, keep doing whatever it is that you were doing.
100%.
And everything that
Yeah.
we've pretty much said today has been more about like how to protect like your mental health when something like this
Mm,
happens to you. But Cass, here's
mm.
my question for you. Because we keep saying don't engage, don't engage, don't engage. What if you are a business owner?
Sure.
Right? And someone has now come exactly and has rocked your whole page and has lied about, not getting, I don't know, whatever it was, or lied about meeting you and you were the worst, or lied that you like just said something that is damaging to your reputation and to your business, is the
Yeah.
right thing there still to be don't engage?
Okay, this is a great question. And I'm going into my work brain because
Just put
this
on
is
your corporate hat
crisis
there real quick.
crisis comms. So in my day job, I lead communications, and a large part of what we do is crisis comms, okay?
Mm,
And if you are a business and you have something like this, I
mm.
usually stop and ask three questions, okay?
Okay.
Question number one in managing a crisis or managing negative comments on your business page is, does it need to be said? Okay. So, do you need
Hmm.
to reply? Is it important that there is a reply to this thing? Okay.
Okay.
Number two is, does it need to be said right now? Like, do I need to reply to this right now? If I don't address this immediately, will there
Hmm.
be some negative backlash or whatever it is? And then
Okay.
number three is, does it need to be said by me? Okay. So am I the one that needs to be the person that addresses this issue? So
Okay.
in the example that you've said now, like someone has made a comment about your business and it's now an
Mm,
issue and whatever, there needs to be a lot more analysis. My first response in a crisis is to not say anything, because we need
mm,
to gather as much information as we possibly can. And once
mm.
we have that information, then we can address
Then we can
it.
respond. Okay.
Right? So, if it's someone who's trolling you on your business, don't
Mm.
engage. If it's a pure troll, don't engage. If someone has come up and is like, "Oh, I used your face cream and I now have necrotizing fasciitis," yeah,
Wow,
maybe
what an
you sh-
example.
maybe you should address that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Maybe, you
and
think?
and in that case, you've
Mm.
always got to make sure that you come out on top. So again, they're trolling you, make it about the issue, not about them.
Not.
The same
Mm.
thing we're saying, the same feedback that we're saying about how to engage with negative comments is the same way you should respond. Make it about the issue, not about them. Okay, my
Mm.
product gave you necrotizing fasciitis. I'm so sorry to hear that. Show a little bit of empathy. I'm sorry
Yeah.
that this happened. I would love to connect with you to better understand how we can fix this going forward. And then you move it to the DMs, because not everybody needs to be
Yeah. No,
part of this chat,
got
right?
it. Got it.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
That's how I
That's
would do
helpful.
it.
That's helpful. That's
Yeah.
helpful. To all my thin-skinned girls out there, you're gonna be fine. Our
You're
our
gonna be
skin will get
just
thicker,
fine.
but
Yeah.
while you work your way up to getting to that point, do whatever you need to do to protect your peace, to protect your mind.
Mm.
Whatever that looks like for you, getting off of social, removing yourself from
Yeah.
situation, deleting,
Yeah.
block, hide, report, whatever you need to do. But more importantly, while you're healing and going through your process, don't forget to still flood the system with as much positivity as you
Yeah.
can. It also
Yeah.
helps make you feel good as well. Just giving
It's
that little bit
true.
out to someone, it
It's
does help
true.
make you feel good.
Yeah. The other thing that you said, which I think is important, is just because there has been negativity, don't stop what you are doing.
Oh,
Don't
don't
let it
stop.
be a hindrance to you. And
Take a
just
break if you
one,
must, but don't stop.
take a
Yeah.
break if you must, but don't stop. One last story. Um, I don't know if you saw this, but Lady Gaga posted something on
Oh
Instagram
God.
the other day. I can't remember what it was. It was
Yes.
on Instagram. She
I saw it on
posted this.
Instagram.
She posted this picture of a Facebook group that was created when she was at
Mm.
university. So she went to
Mm.
NYU. She was at university, and the people, her fellow students of hers, created a Facebook group called Stephanie Germanotta, You Will Never Be Famous. And I was just like, what? Like, my first thought was, how can you have so much hate in you that you would go
Mm.
out of your way to create a page this mean, this foul, this hurtful? And then my second thought was, well, she showed you. like like
She
you
sure did.
lost you lost this battle so hard. And I
But like,
think,
how
imagine,
jobless are you?
I mean, they were students, so like the most jobless. But like, but
They should have
for
been
me, I'm
sent to a
like,
Nigerian university. They would not have been
shoo,
jobless.
shoo. Yeah, yeah. I can only imagine. Truly, I
Be
can only
jobless.
imagine.
You'll be fighting for your life,
Yeah.
literally.
The third thing that I thought was, imagine if she had let that
That stop
negativity get
her.
to her.
Yeah,
Like we wouldn't have Lady
we
Gaga.
wouldn't have that.
Like it's yeah. So
And she's a vibe.
don't let it stop
Like,
you.
let's
She's a
not even
vibe.
play. She's a
She's a vibe.
vibe.
Don't let the negative voices stop
Shoo.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't let it stop you.
Yeah.
Rest if you must, but don't let it stop you. Do whatever
Absolutely.
you need to do, but don't let them stop you. They only
Yeah.
win if you quit, if you give up.
Amen to
So
that. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good
come
one.
say hi to us both. Cass and I would love to flood the system with positivity. Come join us in
Yes.
doing that. Comment, like, subscribe on all of the platforms where you listen to your podcast. Come on Instagram, flood it with positivity. Say something nice about someone that you admire, someone you like.
Please
Let's
do that.
flood
Please do
the
that.
system as much as we
Yeah.
can. Um,
And not
and
just
I
about
guess
us,
no,
about
not just about
everyone.
us, not about us,
Yeah.
everyone. That's what I'm saying.
Anything good
Tag
you
someone
see.
randomly and tell them something
Yeah.
really amazing, or watch a video and
Exactly.
you'd be like, oh my God, I think you'd be great at doing this. Those kinds of things where someone just tags them like, girl, this looks like something I can see you doing. Like, it's so encouraging. Let's do more
It
of that.
is. It is.
And we will see you next week. Okay,
See you
love you.
next
Bye.
time. Okay, love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. You can also watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.